Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of U.F.Oh Snap. My name is Jake.
My name is Lindsay.
And we are so happy to be here with you. Lots going on in the world, if you haven't noticed. Kind of crazy things that we're at. But you know what? We're not here to talk about what's going on now. We're here to talk about what's already happened.
Yes.
And a lot has already happened.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
So much stuff.
So much stuff. You know, there's all kinds of movies out there about UFOs and aliens and stuff. I mean, Alien, for Christ's sakes. But, like, there's a ton. It's a really popular topic.
Oh, yeah. Because, I mean, you want to explore those ideas. The unknown.
Yeah. And, I mean, and what I think is really interesting is they always, of course, usually are geared towards, like, a horror theme. Unless you look at, like, Contact, which we were just talking about. Jodie.
Yeah, Close Encounters. I mean, there's a little... It's a little scary.
Yeah.
It's a little scary.
It's interesting. Close, yeah. But then you got, like, Alien, Predator. Mm-hmm. What are some other...
Puppet Masters.
The Invasion
of the Body Snatchers.
The Fourth Kind.
Pod People. What's that? The Thing.
The Thing.
The fucking Thing.
The fucking Thing. What was that Spielberg movie? War of the Worlds.
E.T.
Yeah. So I've grown up watching all these movies, and then a long time ago, someone told me, like, you want to know the scariest one? And I'm like, oh, okay, what's the scariest one? And they said, Fire in the Sky.
Right?
They're like, that's the scariest one. I was like, why is that the scariest one? And they said, well, first off, it opens up with based on a true story.
Uh-huh.
Okay, whatever. And then they're like, it has the most terrifying alien abduction scene at the end you've ever seen. It's terrifying.
Horrifying. Terrifying.
Yeah. So I watched it, and I've seen that movie a bunch of times, right? Mm-hmm. And it just kind of laid in the back of my head. And then I started getting really into this UFO thing and looking into all this stuff, and I kept coming across this gent by the name of Travis Walton. Well, Travis Walton is what that movie is based on. That's the name of the guy that's in the movie, and his best friend, who is played by the T-1000.
Yes, and Travis Walton is... D.B. Sweeney, right?
Yes.
Yep. Beta Paul Rudd, as I like to call him.
Yeah. And really, it is. There's a terrifying scene. But what even more terrifying, ladies and gentlemen, is where that movie came from. And today we're going to talk about it. I want to take you back. I want to take you back to November 5th. 1975.
75. Good old 75.
Yep. We're going to Snowflake, Arizona.
Snowflake, Arizona.
Travis Walton was a part of a logging crew. Okay. He grew up in the area. Didn't really do much before he was a part of a logging crew. You know, he went to high school, graduated, joined the logging crew. You know, he was like 22 years old when he at this time, on November 5th, he was like 22. So, and they were working at the Apache Site Graves National Forest in northeastern Arizona. Well, they were probably close to 75 to 80% into their contract, right? Clearing out where they're supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Well, one day after work, a hard day, loggers, that's a hard job.
Very hard job.
That's some intense shit. I mean, Paul Bunyan.
Right?
Paul Bunyan! And Babe the Blue Ox.
Babe the Blue Ox.
I mean, this shit was hard for Paul Bunyan, and he was giant. He was a big guy in his giant-ass blue ox, and they were
Those are big trees they're cutting down.
These aren't like your fucking, your pines in your backyard. I mean, these things are like huge. Yeah. These are some big trees. So... hard day of work. Mm-hmm. They're driving home, as one does after work, and they're all together because they're a crew, right? So they all drive to the site together, and they're coming home. Well, as they're coming direct, they spot a bright glowing object in the sky. Of course, at first they thought it might be a plane or a helicopter.
Or a fire in the sky.
Secret fires in the sky. But as they got closer, they realized that this was something very different. This was not just a fire in the sky, or a helicopter in the sky, or a plane in the sky. According to Walton and his crewmates, it was a big object that was roughly 20 feet in diameter and shaped like a flattened disc. And it was hovering just above the treetops. So they were coming down, right? So they were there's a clearing in the road, and the road kind of has an incline down. So they are up, and as you're kind of going down, so that they can see,
out over the area.
You can see out over the area. So you see these treetops. And as the crew approached it, they pull off to the road, right?
Okay.
And because they're like, what the fuck is going on? What is this thing? Well, Travis Walton decides, I'm going to go check this thing out.
That's always the worst idea. Don't go check things out. Just run.
Yeah.
Just run.
Like, why wouldn't you? I mean, they're in a car. Drive away.
Yeah. Just leave.
So, but no, he decides, you know what? I'm going to jump out of here and I'm going to run towards this fucking thing. Here's your bad idea.
Wow.
Yeah. So, he runs towards this thing. And then suddenly, it shot a beam of bright blue-green light in Walton's direction, knocking him unconscious. The rest of the crew fucking freaked out. And they left. They left him. They abandoned his ass. They're like, sorry!
I don't know if I would act differently in that situation.
Yeah. So they pieced out. They only made it a little bit down the road before their conscience hit them, right?
Yeah.
Just a couple blocks. And so they're like, fuck, what are we doing? Like, let's go back.
Let's go back and get him.
Let's go back and get him. Well, they went back and it was gone. And so was Travis. There was nothing there. So the crew searched the area for any signs of Travis. But for the next 5 days, he was nowhere to be found. There's a huge search that had extensive, involving hundreds of people, multiple law enforcement agencies. No signs of him showed up. In the meantime, rumors started circulating that his crew killed him, or he died, or...
that would be the most logical explanation, is that they did something to him. Yeah,
the one that was kind of rised above the rest was that there was. I mean, you got to realize they're working with these ginormous saws.
Yeah.
That there was a colossal accident that happened, and instead of doing the right thing, they covered it up, and the accident killed him. Right?
Yeah.
So that's the big
theory at that point
of what happened. Yeah. And so, I mean, could you imagine though being these guys like 5 days, man?
Yeah.
Like they searched for him, they could not find him.
And if they don't ever find him, if he doesn't show back up, you could possibly go to jail.
Yeah.
You could go to jail.
Yeah. I mean, like listen, just because you can't prove that you can't prove that you didn't kill him. You can't prove that you did. Like you can't.
Yeah.
Circumstantial, motherfucker.
Right. Yeah. It's. Oof.
Yeah. That could be dangerous. I don't like it. They don't like it either. So after 5 days of this, people just hitting their story, doing all this crazy stuff, right? He shows up.
Hi, guys.
He shows up. Well, not exactly.
No,
and
I wouldn't think so.
And I'm talking, they put these guys eventually under lie detector tests and stuff.
I remember that part of the movie.
Yes. Yeah. They put them under lie detectors and all kinds of stuff, and they all passed. Everybody passed. And they were reluctant to even talk about this. They didn't. They really had to press them before they're like, he was fucking taken away by an alien, blah, blah, blah. So finally, on November 10th, Walton reappeared. He was found by a group of hunters in a town about 16 miles away from where he had actually disappeared. He was disoriented. He was super weak, suffering from dehydration. but otherwise fairly unharmed.
Yeah.
He had no memory of what had happened to him during the 5 days that he was gone. There's no clue.
No idea.
No idea. Now, there was a couple things that happened to him. He had some burns on him, on his chest and his arm.
Okay.
Medical examination confirmed that these burns were not consistent with fire or chemical. Dehydration. He was severely dehydrated when he was found. And they really couldn't explain why he was this dehydrated, even if he was gone for like 5 days in the wilderness.
Going without water that long wouldn't even dehydrate that much. I don't know. That's pretty long without water.
Well, not to the extent that he was, apparently. Apparently, he had a significant amount of weight loss during the 5 days that he was gone. Like, huge. He's also reported when he was found that he was very nauseous all the time and had elevated levels of creatine, a byproduct of muscle breakdown that can be caused by stress. Tons of it throughout his system. And like I said, he had retrograde amnesia. He didn't remember what happened, right? So as he began to recover, he began to recall fragments of what happened.
Little flashbacks.
He claimed that after being struck by the beam of light, he had been taken aboard a strange object, and he was subjected to various medical procedures. He claimed that they had these humanoid aliens, right? They kind of look like people with large heads, large black eyes. He claimed that they had communicated with him telepathically and had shown him images of Earth and other planets.
Interesting.
Yeah. He said that he woke up inside on a table in a dome-shaped room surrounded by 3 humanoid beings, right? Again, large eyes, small noses, small mouths, bald heads. He said they wore orange jumpsuits and had really long fingers. He said during it he felt pain in his chest, and he did try to fight them off. He grabbed a metal cylinder from a nearby shelf and threatened him with it. And they actually left him alone. They left him in the room. He said he followed them into a hallway that led into a circular room with several doors. He opened one of them and found himself in like a hangar-like space with other disc-shaped crafts. He saw other beings wearing like helmets who gestured him to follow. He said that he was taken to another room where he met 2 human-like beings who wore blue uniforms, and they had blonde hair, blue eyes, and normal human features.
What?
Yeah. They did not speak, but they smiled at him. And he said that they put a mask over his face that made him lose consciousness. And he woke up side of the road near Herbert, Arizona. And he says when he came to, he saw the disc-shaped object fly away from him above. He immediately ran to a phone booth and he called his brother-in-law, who came and picked him up along with his other brother, Dwayne. He was taken to a hospital where he was examined. The doctor found no serious injuries, but noted signs of malnutrition and dehydration. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I had never heard because I've seen the movie several times, so that's my only frame of reference for this story. But I hadn't heard his actual description of what he claims happened. So there were like some Scandinavians just hanging out.
Yeah, basically. Basically. And they said they did a bunch of like medical experiments on him. He said that he lost track of time. He felt that it was only a few hours had passed, but it went 5 days. He underwent hypnosis to help bring out the repressed memories, which did help.
See, and it always makes me pause when I hear the hypnosis thing because I know it's not 100% legit, and it can be faulty sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. What's really interesting is like when you look at the movie versus when you look at...
Well, from what he's describing, it seems a lot less fucking terrifying.
Yeah, a lot.
Jesus.
So that was one of the things that he talked about is that it wasn't, they didn't look like what the movie portrayed them to look like, because they kind of look like weird little wrinkly people.
Like ball sacks?
Kind of, yeah. And actually how he describes them is they're about 5 feet tall, large almond-shaped eyes, and gray skin. He said that they had, like I said, long fingers, no visible ears, and not really a visible nose.
Yeah.
So very different. But he's also said that there's other types of extraterrestrials that were on this craft, right? So there was also the ones that look like people. Mm-hmm. He also said to have witnessed other beings, including a group of humans who were being held captive. These humans appeared in a trance-like state, and they were strapped to tables similar to the one in which he was lying on.
What if it's like in the Dark Crystal and they're stealing our essence?
Could be. Well, he did say that the aliens told him that they were studying human biology and behavior in order to understand the nature of consciousness. They showed him images of various places and events, including what happened to be other planets and other civilizations. Mm-hmm. They showed him images of Earth's history and the evolution of life on the planet. And they told him that they've been visiting Earth for thousands of years and were responsible for many of the unexplained phenomena that humans had witnessed throughout history. Yeah.
That's a lot more than what's in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, I mean, I guess that's why you should get his book. It's called Fire in the Sky, which is where they got the name for the movie. Mm-hmm.
It's a great name.
It's a great name. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So pretty different than the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just really interesting, some of the things that, like, one thing to note is the way he describes the ship, right? Sounds a lot like a Lazar UFO. A little bit, yeah.
Sounds just the disc.
Sounds a lot like the Lazar sport model. Mm-hmm. The other thing is, so if we look at the movie versus what he says really happened, right? So in the movie, they say he was found like naked.
Yeah, he was like at an abandoned truck stop or something. Yeah, and it was raining and.
Yeah, in reality, he was found by a payphone near a gas station. He wasn't naked. Okay. Like in a crossroads. The movie showed him taking 2 polygraph tests. Okay. And he failed one. Mm-hmm. In reality, he passed both of them. Okay. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah. I think the movie wanted to cast a little bit of like maybe some doubt.
Yeah, because I think that was because I mean it is like a sensationalized science fiction movie, but I think they wanted to try and elevate it by putting in this like, what do you believe? Like what, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And in the movie, his coworkers, his team, were harassed by UFO enthusiasts and reporters and everything.
I'm sure. But it's a hell of a story.
In real life, that didn't happen as much as they were really under the gun as just as suspects for murdering him and hiding the body.
Yeah, the police want to know what the fuck is happening.
Well, I think the focus wasn't like he was abducted, like in the movie, they were like, oh, blah, 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 and blah, blah. In real life, they were like, he was murdered. Like, they didn't talk much about the UFO thing. Okay. Everybody assumed that these guys fucking killed him.
Killed him, yeah.
Yeah. In the movie, he only saw one type of alien on a small ship. In reality, he said that he saw other human-like beings on board a very large spacecraft that resembled an airport terminal.
A fucking what?
Yeah. He said that's like the best way when he was in that hall, like the area walking down, is it really felt like an airport terminal.
I wonder what the different colored jumpsuits mean.
Yeah, I don't know. But, I mean, if you think... He described the grays as being in orange ones. And then
the blue ones.
The humanoid ones, I've heard called the Nordics.
The Nordics. Oh, wow.
So you have the grays, and then you have the Nordics, which just sound like they are ready to start fucking Nazi Germany all over again.
Yeah, it's very Third Reichish.
Yep. Ugh. Blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that gets me is he's talking about, and if you've never seen what this guy really looks like, there's some really good like documentaries and things out there. There's a really good one called Travis Walton on Discovery Plus, where you can hear his story. He did a couple episodes, or he did an episode of Joe Rogan where he just tells his whole story.
Yeah.
It's very good. I mean, the guy's been telling the exact same story since 1975. Like, the story hasn't changed. It's not like Bob Lazar. The story hasn't changed. Not really. It's pretty credible sounding. Here's the thing for me, though. Travis Walton was not like a really smart guy. You know what I mean? He was not like a. I mean, he's not dumb, but he's not like a genius kind of guy. You know? He's a fucking logger and simple dude.
He's just a blue collar dude.
Where is this dude coming up fucking with, like, if he was making it up, they're studying our consciousness in, like, I don't know.
I mean, it is, because like I said, I had never heard any of that part of the story before, like his actual, what he said happened.
Right.
And it's just, it's like, I don't want to think that people lie about this stuff, but I know people do lie about this stuff all the time.
Yeah.
You know, but I want to believe him.
Yeah.
You want to.
You do want to believe.
But it's like, I need something more to be like, yes, this probably did happen. I need something more just beyond what you're telling me happened.
Right. And, you know, and I also, you have to look at, like, did he get super rich?
Did he benefit from it?
And he did, but he didn't. Right. So, like, he wrote a book.
And then they did the movie.
So the book, for me, the book does not, if somebody has something and they write a book about it and that's what they do and that's it, that I don't consider that benefiting. I consider that you went through a fucked up thing and you want to talk about it. So I'm fine with that. What I'm not fine with is when people go and do like, you know, like 5 books, 3 TV shows.
Yeah, when they're just milking every fucking drop out of it that they can. Yeah.
You know, and this guy is interesting, right? Because he wrote the book and then he optioned the movie, but he had nothing to do. Like, they came to him for the movie. Like, he didn't seek out the movie. The movie sucked him out. Sought
him out.
The movie sought him out, Governor. All right, he did. The movie came in.
We're going to make a movie about a fire in the sky.
Some people just want to watch the world burn. That's by Michael Caine. Some people just want to watch the world burn, Master Wayne.
And I did Jaws because it bought me a beautiful house.
That's right. I fought a shark. I went face to face with that shark. And I said, listen here, shark. I'm about to
My favorite part about that movie is
Jaws?
Jaws 4 with Michael Caine.
I didn't know he was in Jaws 4.
Yes!
I don't even remember Jaws 4.
Or, Jaws the Revenge. Yes, Jaws 4.
Okay, yeah.
Where just... Because the third one's great, too, because that happens at legit SeaWorld.
Jaws 3D?
Yes.
Have you ever watched it in 3D?
Yes, it's amazing.
Oh,
it's amazing.
I need to find
But
that.
Jaws 4, yes. There's this climactic part at the end, because the shark has like a personal vendetta against the Brody family and is knocking them off one by one.
What?
Like a serial killer. Yeah. No, it's...
The fourth one is like this?
The fourth one is nuts.
Wow.
Nuts. Tracks them all the way from Amity down to the Caribbean.
Wow. I mean, I love
the shark knows, because she's got a psychic connection with the shark.
What
Ellen
the fuck?
Brody does. They allude to that.
Do you think that when that came out, Steven Spielberg was just like, what the fuck?
I don't... he got some money. He got paid. He doesn't care.
You know, I love Jaws. And one of the things that I'm happy I got to do before they tore it out is go to Universal Studios.
Oh, you got to go on the Jaws ride?
Well, yeah, but it's more than just the ride, right? Because the whole corner is Amity.
Yeah.
It's themed out.
It's the docks.
So you can eat at the fish and chips at the restaurant.
No way.
It's all themed. They have like Amity gift stores and then they don't call it like Jaws I mean, it's called Jaws the Ride, but the experience, but basically it's like go on a boat tour. And you get on the boat tour and now I think it's all Harry Potter.
Ugh. Jaws is my favorite fucking movie.
So good.
It's at the end he crashes into the water and swims and climbs into the boat, and he climbs into the boat and he's completely dry.
Wow.
No, it's
wow.
It's so bad. It's great.
Have you ever seen, speaking of shark movies that are terrible, and I'm skipping 1 and 2, we're going straight to Shark Attack 3, Megalodon.
Yes.
It's one of the greatest. It's like the OG. It's so great.
No, it's good.
Greatest scene in a movie ever. With these two people, they're standing there, and they got a busy day the next day. They're like, "Oh, I'm pretty tired," and the girl's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty tired," and he's like, "Oh, I suppose I could go to bed," and yeah, or I could take you home and eat your pussy. And then it cuts right to a fucking lovemaking scene in a shower with candles.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And
with candles in the shower. Like, not a bath, a fucking shower, and there's candles all over. Like, just getting burnt.
And what's funny about that is the actor who delivered that line, he's like, that wasn't in the script. I just said it to get a reaction out of my co-star.
Oh, wow.
Because we were, trying to mix up the scene or something. I believe that's the story that he tells about that. But then they ended up keeping it in the movie, and he didn't know that until like they went to the premiere.
That's amazing. Oh my God. Why can't everything be like that? But so I recommend, though, getting
back to why we're here.
Yes. Travis Walton. If you've never seen Fire the Sky, it's really good. And
it is. And seriously, that abduction scene is one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen in a movie.
Yeah.
It is really scary.
He talked about like another thing that's not the same. It's like in the movie, there's where he lays on the table and they put like a membrane over him.
It's very claustrophobic.
That never actually happened, according to him either. He's like, I was held down by some force, but there was no like membrane or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Because they made it look really icky too.
Yeah. A lot of goo.
Yeah. Very
slimy.
Yeah. Lots of moisture.
Lots of moisture. Super sticky. But he had nothing to do with the movie making. He said that I want to say that he read the script, but he didn't really have he didn't really have any say.
He didn't have any input or creative control.
Not really. And then. Beyond that, like he appears at a couple at UFO conventions. It's like, let me tell my story and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he gets appearance fees for that.
He sells books or whatever.
Yeah, sells books and whatnot.
Pictures.
I mean, is he benefiting? I don't know. I would say, I mean, maybe not. Not to an excess.
It's not like he's living off the story.
I don't think so. No. I think eventually, he, what's kind of interesting is he said on Rogan that he met Betty Hill. Mm-hmm. And Betty Hill said to him, whatever you do, don't let them turn you into a caricature of yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what happened to Betty and Barney Hill. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we talked about it on literally the last episode.
Yeah.
Betty and Barney Hill, and it ended with, is their story credible? Well, because of the actions of Betty, maybe not, because she benefited a fuckload off of that story.
Yeah.
But then maybe not.
Yeah, because on that one you had the independent verification from the tower that something was possibly out there. So I think
so. You have that here too, right? So yeah. There are people that saw some stuff in the sky that same night that they saw it.
Because that makes me think that maybe that at least lends a lot more credibility to just seeing something out there. Yeah, at least.
So I don't know. Guy disappears for 5 days. Mm-hmm. Doesn't know where he went. I mean. And you have to also ask yourself, why would they, let's say this is a hoax.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
The big rumor, I wouldn't say rumor, but the big debunk reasoning is that they were in a contract that they wanted to get out of.
Oh.
They wanted to get out of. But Travis's rebuke to that is, we were 80% done. Mm-hmm. Why would we fuck up the last 20% and not get paid?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. To which I agree. That doesn't seem logical. But maybe I'm sure there's we only know 10% of any story really.
True.
But that's the story. If you really like the Travis Walton story, I really recommend If you want to look at the real version of it, go on like Discovery Plus or something and check out the documentary, or, go listen to him tell his own story on Rogan. It's really, really good. Or if you just want to be entertained and have the shit scared out of you, go watch Fire in the Sky.
It's got a great cast.
It's a great cast. The fucking Terminator Liquid Metal T-1000 is in it. John Connor's enemy. Fucking.
Isn't Patrick Swayze's brother in that?
I thought you were going to say Patrick Swayze's ghost. I was like, not yet.
No. I think it was his brother, but I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Oh, God. Yeah, I just remember the fucking. I mean, I literally watched the movie this morning. But I don't know. Just remember the. Have you seen this boy? Love it. But do yourself a favor and check it out. It's a really good one. And again, it'll fucking scare the shit out of you.
Oh yeah.
But I would like to thank you very much for tuning in to this episode. Please do check us out online at UFOsnap.com and on all the socials and all the stuff, and tell your friends and everybody else. I'm Jake.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye.